Good day everyone. So we are here to report our topic, which is the topic 4, Mastering the Art of Research, a comprehensive guide. So Mastering the Art of Research, a comprehensive guide. This guide provides techniques and structural guidelines for effective and efficient research, ranging from research questions to providing in-depth research insights. This guide is intended for use by professionals, students, and research teams seeking for answers quick, quickly and reliably. So this guide serves as the blueprint of the research, which provides the guidelines, of course, and also the techniques on how to properly execute the requirements or the techniques on how to effectively conduct or finish a research.
Hello everyone, I'm Setdel G. Cases and I'll be representing slide 3 and 4. For the first bullet, we have informed decision making. This process reduces uncertainty and support strategic decisions with fact rather than relying on intuition. And for risk mitigation, this process identifies potential risks and validates assumptions before making costly decisions are made. And for last bullet, we have innovations and credibility. The new knowledge drives innovations and establishes credibility of the owner for stakeholders through documented processes and resources. And for defining your question, have set clear objectives and scope and constraint. For set clear objective, the ideas turn into exact inquiries and use the SMART criteria, the specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant, and the time bound. And you're also gonna give primary questions and sub-questions. And for the desired output, like reports, datasets, and recommendations. And also for scope and constraint, lay out what's in scope and what's out of scope, like time, budget, geography, and available expertise. And be explicit about what you will not cover.
Digital Detective. Digital Detective, this slide is about how to search for information online more effectively, especially when you are doing a research or academic or technical writing. It compares a researcher to a digital detective, meaning you carefully look for the clues and evidences on the internet instead of just typing a random words in a search bar. So first, what is advanced queries? Advanced queries use Boolean operators, cite, domain filters, file type, PDF, and codes for exact phrases to narrow results. So it means using search techniques to get more accurate results. So example, Boolean operators. Boolean operators, the words like and, not, or. And then cite limits results to specific website or domain. Site, this is the site where did you get or find that information. And then file type looks for a certain type for a file like PDF or JPEG. So the purpose of this is to narrow down results and avoid irrelevant websites. So second, evaluate results fast. Skim abstract and previous first, bookmark promising, and capture citation details immediately. So sa evaluate and results fast, this reminds you to quickly judge if a source is useful or not by reading the abstract or preview, checking the author and date, bookmarking good sources, and saving citation details immediately to save time and to make sure you use only reliable and relevant sources. And third, search iteratively, refine keywords after early reads, alternate terminology, synonyms, and subject-specific jargon. So search iteratively. Iteratively means repeating and improving your search after reading some results. So you can change keywords, use synonyms, and try subjective, specific, and technical terms to gradually improve the quality of information that you find. So the second slide is navigating the information landscape. So this slide explains the two main types of information sources used in research and writing, the primary sources and the secondary sources. So it shows how writers and researchers must know where their information comes from in order to produce accurate and credible work. So first, what is primary sources? Primary sources is the original data you collect, interviews, surveys, experiments, observations, best for answering what and why in context. So primary sources are the original or first-hand data that you collect yourself or that comes directly from the original event or experiment. Example of this is the interviews, surveys, and questionnaires, experiment and laboratory results, observations, and also field notes. So the primary sources are the best for answering what happened and why did it happen, because they come straight from the source without interpretation. So it considered a very strong evidence in a research. So secondary sources analyzes reviews and summaries built from primary data, books, articles, meta-analysis used for context and prior findings. So, secondary sources are the interpretations or summaries of primary data created by other people. They analyze it, they review, or they explain original information. Example of this is the books, journal articles, literature reviews, and documentaries. So, these secondary sources help to provide background information, context, and previous findings. They show what others researchers already discovered about the topic. So, this considered a secondary sources. So, I have an example. Imagine you are writing a technical manual about water filtration system, and then you personally test the water filters and record flow rate and cleanliness level and interview engineers who designed the system. So you will be the primary sources because the information comes directly from your own testing and conversations. And then the secondary sources is if you read engineering textbooks or review published research papers and look for previous technical reports about filtrations, yun na yung magiging secondary sources because sinasummarize or ina-analyze mo na lang yung information na already gathered by others. So, thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Jada Dulay. To start, I will be discussing Beyond Google. So, what is Beyond Google? Beyond Google means you're not only depending on Google. When we do research, we can also use other sources like academic journals, library books, and official website. For example, using academic journals from a university library, reading government agriculture report, and joining academic forums or conferences. Critical evaluation. So, what is critical evaluation? Critical evaluation means careful checking if the information you read or see is trustworthy before you believe it or use it, like in research and online articles. For example, checking author qualifications, looking for references and citations, and comparing multiple sources. There are four main parts: authority, accuracy, currency and relevance, bias and corroborations. Authority. Ask the questions who made or where this information is. You check if that person or organization is qualified, educated, or experienced in that topic. For examples, a video tutorial made by certified teachers, a history book written by historian, and a farming guide written by an agriculture professor. Accuracy means your information is correct, supported by facts, data, and evidences. For example, a research with citations, a book with bibliography, and a news with evidences. Currency and relevance. Currency means how new or updated your information is. Relevance, if it's useful for your topic. For examples, 2026 report about technologies and new updated textbooks. Bias and corroborations. Bias means one-sided opinion or favoritism. Corroborations means checking other sources to confirm if it's true. For example, an advertisement saying that their product is the best, and a political blog supporting only one side.
Good day everyone. Today I will explain the 3 steps of processing information: collect, analyze, and the synthesize. First is the collect. In this step involves gathering data from different sources such as interview, survey, books, or the observation. For example, a student researching agriculture may collect information from farmers and online articles. And the second is the analyze. In this step, the collected data is examined carefully to identify the patterns, trends, and the relationships. For instance, the student may discover the proper irrigation timing affects crop growth. For example, after the collecting data, the student noticed that crop grow better when irrigation is done early in the morning. And the third is the synthesize. This means combining all the analyzed information to create conclusion or the recommendation. Based on the findings, the student may suggest better farming practices to improve the productivity. For example, based on the analysis, the student recommend that farmers follow a morning irrigation schedule to improve crop yield. In conclusion, collecting, analyzing, and the synthesizing are important steps that helps transform raw information into useful knowledge. Next is the tools. First, the reference management, Zotero, Mendeley, or the EndNote. Meaning, these are tools that helps store and organize books, articles, and the citation automatically. Example, if you download many research articles, you can save them in Zotero so the tools will automatically create your bibliography. And the second is the note-taking tools, or the Obsidian, Notion, or the OneNote. Meaning, apps used to write and organize your notes while researching. Example, a student write information ideas from articles in OneNote and groups them by topic like introduction or the results. And the third is the data storage, or the cloud storage with versioning, meaning saving files online so they are safe and can be accessed anytime. Example, saving your research documents in Google Drive so you don't lose them even if your phone breaks. And the next is the techniques. First, use consistent file name and folder structure, meaning name your file clearly and organize them into folders. Example, the folders researching project, or the articles and data and the report. Or the file name climate change article 1 PDF. And the second is the struct keycodes, tags, and the metadata. Meaning, write important quotation and label your notes with keywords. Example, tagging a note with irrigation, crop field, or the climate, why it helps, makes researching easier. And the next is the use a live bibliography and methods log, meaning keep a running list of reference and record how you did your research. Example, writing down every article you use and noting the data you collected data. Why it helps prevent missing references, make your research more organized and credible.